Welcome to my video on how our super corporation can get you multiple aircraft by financing it, and I'm going to show you how you can make a profit doing it. Also, if you already are in the corporate executive aircraft industry and you would like to get a new acquisition or refinance your portfolio of planes that you do have, or would like to upgrade them and retrofit them with avionics, cabin customization, changes in interior layout, design, ergonomics, or electronics, let us know. In the end, I'm going to give you what's needed for our purchasing and acquisitions. So let's start this video. This video has 5 parts. First, we're going to go over how the Age Corporation can get you financing and the timeline. Second, I'm going to go over the criteria for the profitability on how to get a corporate aircraft and make money on it. 3, I'm going to go over how we're going to fulfill this goal of making it profitable. Number 4, I'm going to go over how you do the purchasing of the correct jet. Number 5, I'm going to go over what's needed for the financing or acquisitions, refinancing, or refinance and retrofitting. Alright, let's get this video started. So, on Age Corporations, if you have bought an Age Corporation from me, or you're going to buy an Age Corporation from me, it can do purchasing of commercial real estate, yachts, aircraft, fixed wing, helicopters, or fleets. The thing is, as far as the timeline goes, it can be accomplished within the second or third round, depending on how the corporation is handled. It can be done in the second round if you have purchased a commercial real estate and you've made 3 payments on the commercial real estate, anywhere from $5 million and above. Now, that's 2 rounds. Now, a normal person, if you're getting your cash flow going on your business, it'll be 3 or 4 rounds on funding with the corporation. But in order to do that, you have to have your business cash flow going. That's the only way possible. You can take the first round of funding from this corporation and build your business and get the cash flow going. Once the cash flow is going, you're talking, by the second or third round, if the cash flow is strong enough. So we're talking like 6 to 9 months out, or 12 months definitely out. These are minimums. Once you have used this corporation and using it to your benefit, building up your businesses and the business corporation's in, or just getting cash flow up as well, then it's set and you're ready to go. Because that brings me to the next criteria, the criteria of profitability. And the very first thing in order to make an executive business jet, your first personal jet, profitable, is you get the tax deduction advantage. And in order to do that, you have to have the cash flow and make the business money in order to write it off. That is a key component. Now, if you have that and your business is making money, which it should be after you bought the corporation and you started using the cash, because it's $500,000 to $800,000 already, and if you can't make money with that, buying commercial real estate and other things, as I'm guiding you through, and getting your own business going, you should be able to do it and pull this off easily. Okay, so here's the criteria for making a profitable, successful profit on your jet. That's making money on the jet and not losing money on it. And great part about this video is that right now there is a huge, gigantic shortage supply of executive jets all across the country, because America is open up because of COVID. Every charter company and management firm in the United States is short on jets. Easy to make money. So I'm giving you the worst case scenario. That means you get the cash flow up in your business, and I'm going to give you the best strategic jet to buy that's got the least depreciation, and it's got the lowest expenses, lowest repair costs, lowest maintenance, lowest licensing, lowest permits, lowest crew and training costs, lowest fuel and hangar and depreciation fees. That means it has the best value retention, and it is the one that is in the most demand and supply. So I'm going to give you the key corporate jet that will succeed at doing all that, so it's going to make a profit. So if you have your business going even halfway decent and you buy this corporate jet, you want to use it to build up your business and make money, that is a time value benefit on its own, but the jet alone will make its own money the way we're going to structure it and set it up, by buying smartly and strategically. And how are we going to do that? What is the rest of the criteria? Well, the main criteria on an executive business jet to make a profit is going to get the most efficient, effective jet that is a single pilot operational business jet. Now, for several years, well, most of your jets, your executive jets, are two pilot requirements and require two pilots. Why do you want one pilot? Well, you want one pilot operational contingent because it's only one salary and one person, and you only have so many hours you have to fulfill for one pilot. So that is more efficient, cost effective, and saves you money. Now, they both have two pilots and a co-pilot in the cockpit tour of your first jet. All your private jets, at least all your ones in the last, decade. So this can have a co-pilot, but you're going to run it on a lean operating system, and I'm going to get you the right jet, and you're going to use it the right manner and make money on it by having one pilot. That's one key thing. There's one other thing. Another thing is you have to get one that's the best speed, fuel efficiency, cost per mile, the best range and distance, lowest maintenance cost, crew and crew training, registration, and overall plane history of the model has to be good and in demand and popular with a proven record, so when people go to charter the flight, they know what plane it is, they know it has a good history, they're not afraid of it, they're going to request it, and it's going to be in demand. Now, you're going to have this at a FBO, a fixed base operation, which is going to be located in your main cities like Miami, New York, LA, possibly Denver, or Dallas, but mainly New York, LA, Miami, those key things. So what is the criteria also to make a profit on your executive business jet? Well, every flight that you're going to set up with a charter company has to be 51% or more occupied per flight, and your usage of the jet has to be over 50% business use per year to write it off and classify it as a business on its own. Now, having your own new personal private jet, you'll only really be able to use it maybe 40-50 hours a year, and you'll need to give in about 20 days notice before you use it. Hey, but who cares? I'm telling you how to get into a corporate jet ahead of time. I didn't say like 6 months and you get to go look at it and sit in it and pretend it's yours when it's not. I said 20 days. 20 days. I know, it sounds like a bunch of shit, but you want to make a fucking profit and you want to get in this thing early. I'm telling you how this can be done, because everybody loses their butt on every single thing they buy. Cars, real estate, houses, they all go broke because they're not smart. I'm going to give you strategic moves. So what? Okay, 20 days. You plan your shit 20 days out, and you could use it like 40 to 50 hours a year. So it's your first damn jet. Crappy because it's your first jet. So after you have this jet 6 months, 9 months, you can buy multiple jets and repeat the cycle, and you're making more money. Then you can spend more time having your own private jet. But this is how you're going to pull it off. So you're going to limit your hours to like 40, 50 hours a year. I know, that's not very many. Trust me, I know. But you got to go from point A to B. Well, you want to acquire jets. This is how you acquire it. You start out with this model, the base model. Then I'm going to show you how to scale up. And later on, you can sell the whole company, all your jets, and make a nice profit, go on to the next big business and make lots of money and have your own jet sitting back there whenever you want to use it. But right now, you're going to be rich, but you're kind of poor. You're going to be rich, you live rich, but you got to schedule the time you use your own jet. I know it sounds funny. So, all right. The last key to this puzzle is that when you have the jet and it's chartered, it has to be chartered for long distances around 4 hours, i.e. maximum flight profitability margin is from, a 4-hour range, or from ideally like New York to LA to Dallas, or New York to Alaska, or Alaska to Dallas, New York, LA, or Miami, or LA to Puerto Rico, well, the Mexico City, Mexico, like the Caribbean, or, whatever that Puerto Vallarta crap in Mexico is, those type of distances. And maybe if you're going to go from the fixed base, you're going to do that and keep your management, your charter, keeping the flight occupied and full. Right now it's going to be full all the time. It's going to keep going, and then you can base some in other countries and go from London and etc. But the key is that's the margin with the lowest cost on maintenance and gas and everything like that. If you're in a fixed base operation and you are in wherever you're at, it can go shorter distances, but when you're doing that, in order to leverage your profit, you're going to have less fuel in the gas tank, because the amount of weight and everything is going to cost more on your fuel cost per mileage. So, but the main profit is longer range and all that stuff. So right now is a perfect time to get into the business corporate jet, because there's such a big demand. So get your cash flow up, and then we'll get the financing on this thing, and boom, you'll have. We go to the third. How are we going to fulfill this profitability criteria? As in single pilot, value retention, demand and supply, efficiency, speed, fuel, and range, and maintenance costs, popularity improvement, and be able to be in a fixed base operation. So that means you're going to have to put your jet in a main area if you're in a small area. So if you're in a small town, get used to having it somewhere else and then logging it out. Okay, so now let's get into it. Okay, so there is 2 jets to qualify for this business class profitable jet criteria. What are the 2 jets? One is an old standard that's been around for a long time, and it usually has been the number 1 reigning fastest, most economic business jet on the market, and that is the Citation. And the latest upgrade to that is the CJ4, and the CJ3 Plus is the older version. That has been the award-winning standard until the last decade, which Embraer Phenom 100 and 300 models came out. Now these jets are just the best value on the market, and they hold the most retention in the value over time. And over the last 9 years, they've been at the top of the chart every single time for value retention, efficiency, speed, which is a cruising speed of around 510 miles per hour, or like 450 knots per mile. Distance on it, you're looking at a range of, the comparison between the two is 2,200 miles and 2,000 miles. They're very close, neck and neck, when it comes down to things. Yeah, so the speed on the Phenom 300, I'm giving you averages between like 2014, 2018, and the new models, because there's differences between each version. But we buy one that's a couple years old, and you got the efficiency between the speed and the gas, you're going to come out ahead. So the Phenom 300 is 510 miles an hour. The Citation CJ4 is 496 miles an hour. What does that really mean? Like from LA to New York, the Phenom is 4 hours 18 minutes. CJ Citation is like 4 hours 26 minutes. So takeoff distance is shorter for the Phenom 300, of course, and landing distance is also shorter, so it's definitely more efficient. Fuel cost per mile on the Phenom 300 is $2.78 per mile, and the CJ4 is $3.28. Cost per hour is $1,525 per hour with the Phenom 300. The Ampere and the Citation is 1,656 miles per hour. On some of the older classes, it's about a couple $100 difference, but they're same ratio, same difference. Distance and range. The Phenom 300, there's a Phenom 100 and 300. The Phenom 100 is around $2 million to $300, $2 million to $3 million range price, and the Phenom 300 is around $9.4 million, and the CJ4 Citation is about $9.7 million. So it's even higher cost, and it's not as efficient. So the ultimate distance on the Phenom 300 is 2,010 nautical miles, and the CJ4 is 2165. So 2,010 nautical miles really equals 2010 times 0.1 is 200 miles, because the nautical mile is 1.1 mile an hour. So 201. That really puts you at about 2,200 miles. Both have a capacity of 11, and both have the capacity to have single pilot flight controls. The avionics in the Phenom 300 are new Garmin and Prodigy, and the glass on it is it's got 3 different in-flight computers, different landing systems, and better systems, and it's higher rated than the Citation, and it definitely looks like I like it better. But anyhow, now it's also proven and in demand, and more of them sell than the Citation. How you're going to purchase this jet? If you want to do an older model of a Phenom 300, we could pick it up for like around $7.3 million, or if you want to go with the Phenom 100, that price is around $2 to $3 million. The Phenom 300 is the world's fastest, longest range single pilot aircraft capable of reaching Mach 0.8. The Phenom 300 is advanced capabilities, delivers the most sophisticated technology in the light business jet range. It's state-of-the-art controlled flight deck designed to anticipate every need and minimize workload fatigue for the pilot. Synthetic vision system sees what you can't see, while the runway overrun awareness alert system, which is designed and made and only in this Phenom 300 and 100, provides warning if approaching too steep or too fast. Embraer is the first and only equipment from the manufacturer in the business aviation to develop this certified technology. This graphical flight planning, surface watch, vertical navigation, wind shear alerting, and weather radar, vertical scan, ground clutter suppression, and turbulence detection provide even more situational awareness. And the design of the aircraft is synoptic with screens, and Prodigy's touch avionics creates an instinctive interface between the pilot and the aircraft. Yes, that is one of the best glass avionics in the cockpit in the front, and the Citation has a Collins setup, which isn't as good as the Prodigy, and a lot of pilots rather prefer this one, and they compare it similar to working an iPhone. Anyhow, that is the differences on those. So, as well as that's how, as well as purchasing the correct jet. Now, how are we going to get it subsidized and with the right corporate management and the right corporate charter. On the right corporate charter, you have every charter company in the book, and everywhere in the internet is saying how much the demand is. Baker Aviation adds to charter fleet as demand rises. On-demand jet charter Stratos Jet is paying book to pay for flights on the basis Stratus is high demand. Business jet market size, share, and industry outlook. On-demand private jet aircraft partner expands fleet. Jet charters have spiked amid COVID. New business. Fastest private jets right now. And demand. U.S. reopens interest in private jet market. Executive jet management. Book your charter flight. Record demand for private jet flights to continue. Business jet market size, share, industry expands. Fastest private jets right now. Okay. Demand of private jets surges as rich Russians skirt. So it's worldwide. Everywhere in the world is wanting private jets. Jet fuel shortage. Well, the demand's so high that people are paying, and it's pretty hot. Now, you have charter companies. You have tons of them. You got NetJets, Wheels Up, FlexJet, VistaJet, XO Global, Global Air, Magellan Jets, Jet Lily, Jet Suite, Victor, Globe Air, Oxygen Aviation, Desert Management, and like several others. And then I actually have some connections as well that would do it for you also. So what to look for in a charter management company. The real key differences here on the income to you portion. The difference is some charters require that you have two pilots flying the plane, which means more overhead, and some will allow you to get away with the one. Now, the one is the less salary for the secondary pilot, but by the same token, you can have literally three pilots coordinating back and forth and get your normal hours on a normal operational business jet is only like 200 hours a year. But if you structure it right, kind of like a trucking industry or whatever, where you have different drivers and stuff or teams, you could have three pilots and get your corporate aircraft up to like 450 hours a year. And the average rule of thumb for like a Phenom 300 on profit to the owner, you're looking at just ballpark rough estimate around $3,000 per hour. Now, at 450 hours, that puts you at $1.35 million profit, as well as if you take advantage of your tax deduction, and because this aircraft does have an advantage of the modified accelerated tax acceleration program. A lot of the other jets don't, but this one does. So it's faster than the normal straight line deduction that can be done. This one can be done over like 6 years, where normally a lot of them are going out to like 8 or 9 years. So you get the depreciation faster, and if you use it for some time value money things on your business, you can produce a profit. You won't produce a profit if you don't have any cash flow in your business and you have really zero use for it. I mean, if you use it for pleasure, that's fine, but worst case scenario, and your business isn't making a profit and you're just wanting to do it for fun and have pleasure seeking trips and things like that, you can set up where these will offset your costs and break even. But if you're using it for any benefit with your business, or you want to really structure the logistics and manage it correctly, it can produce a profit, because your normal hours to like New York to LA is only like 2 hours. But if you structure longer flights from like Anchorage to Puerto Rico, or the Caribbean, or things like that, or have a great management company that can structure it up, it is possible to make a profit. But breaking even would be pretty good that you have your first jet. If you have contract with other like Fortune 1000 companies, you can tighten down the expenses and get your own setup and then really manage it to make a profit on that scenario. And that would look like getting fleet discounts on fuel, fleet discounts on your crew, maintenance, hangar services, all kinds of discounts because you have multiple jets. As well as if you start out with the Phenom 100, it's only a $2-3 million jet, so your corporation could easily pay for this thing by the second round, and that's not with any commercial real estate because you're only talking $2-3 million jet. That's not even very much money. So on that, with it being chartered out, I mean, you'd easily make a profit because it's not even that expensive a jet, and we have it financed clear out to like 20 to 30 years. So, yeah, that is a profitable jet to start out with. Then you want to move into the next Phenom 300, which is about your $9.4 million jet, or like a little older for like $7.3 million, depends on which one. You're breaking even if you're not really banging it in your business, but if you're making money in your business and you use the jet a little bit to get around or for things that bring in some money, I mean, yeah, or you structure it correctly, I mean, yeah, it can make a profit. I mean, if you're on 300, 100 or 300, I mean, if you structure it right, you do your business right, yes, you can make a profit. So you make the right moves, it's profitable. Then you want to get into other things, the larger jets. You can get into cargo and different avenues to make money, but they do make money if you know what you're doing and you set it up right. I mean, I can help you make money on it. Worst case scenario, if you're kind of lazy, you're not really doing much with your jet or your asset, it will break even. So how do you like that? It's pretty good. Worst case scenario, you do nothing and it breaks even. But if you're active in your numbers and you look like making money, yes, it can be done. So also, if you're interested in getting the charter program, you might want to call around or give me a call. I can let you know which ones are paying the best. Now, for the financing, what is expected on the financing? The financing is out to 25 years, maybe 30 years, depends on the age of the jet. I mean, if it's a 1990 or older, I mean, of course, the financing drops to 20 years versus 30 years. How long does it take to close? It could take like 5 to 7 days to close. I could set you up with the best financing terms. We could structure it. Normally, they're going to want like 10% down and 4.9% interest. Sometimes, depending on the jet, we could go with less down payment. But if we have the corporation, you want to get it financed on the corporation, we could pull the down payment out of the corporation or add in a second mortgage on it and cover it. Either way, it's really about you having enough cash flow in your other business to have that for the tax write-off. Also, once this is set up with Embraer or whatever, you can get access to their accounting and their software for aircraft registration and maintenance setup and the whole crew setup and training and everything on that as well. Once you have that and you pick the jet you want, or helicopter, whatever you want to do, then we start out with the paperwork. And the paperwork, we're just going to need like your normal tax return for 2 years, driver's license, all that kind of stuff, and get things going. And have the agreement with the purchase agreement and start from there. So that gets it started, and then once we got that started, we're going to probably need like the bill of sale, all bank documents to prove your income, your accident and incident report if you are a pilot. If not, the insurance, the FAA lien international registry searches if you have any liens in the past. But if you've never had aircraft, you're never going to have that. And then the engine confirmation a settlement agreement and authorization to close, and then like paperwork for us to get some general information released. But that's just your basic information, basic paperwork to cover. There's an operational agreement that goes with it, like a Part 91 is aircraft under 19, or if it's a Part 135 if you're doing like a turboprop or prop plane of people less than 30 passengers. So then you're going to predict how many hours you're going to put in the aircraft and things like that. When you get the financing, that's going to be in calculation with your insurance, and then that will help get the loan closed. So in order to close the loan, it's just your basic normal paperwork. Get that to me, and then we'll get that going. But right now, get your business going, get your commercial real estate going, and you have that cash coming in, and then you got an automatic tax write-off, and guess what? That steps you into the executive corporate jet, which you can break even, and or if you work the cards right, which we will, you'll make money on it. And right now, there's a shortage on them all over the country, and you will make money on them. But it won't work if you don't get your own business going and get things going. But success leads into more success. So start making things happen, and then it's going to snowball effect in a big way. And the first way would be getting everything going and get yourself a corporation that's real and solid and has the capacity to do these things. So after I wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with a video of the Phenom 100 so you can get the full view of the walkthrough, the layout, and everything. The difference, because this whole video I did the Phenom 300. The only real difference is the Phenom 300 ceiling is $45,000. The 100 is like $41,000. The price is like 2 to 3 million, and the speed is Mach 0.7 versus Mach 0.8. So you're talking about instead of 510 miles per hour, you're looking at like maybe 400 to 450 miles per hour. But it's only 2 to 3 million bucks. It's your first jet. It's a great one to get into. It's going to keep its value. You can make money on it, and it's a fantastic way to get into a jet before you're even a multi-millionaire, and keep building money and keep going further. So I hope you like this video. Give me a call if I could help you out, and I will love to talk to you. Thanks.
The Phenom 100 EV is the essence of private flight, bringing 21st century innovation to an entry-level jet. As part of the Embraer Executive Jets fleet, it represents the first distillation of the business aviation experience. Combining the latest technology with the widest and tallest cabin of any jet in its category, the Phenom 100 EV is also the best-selling entry-level jet of the last decade, with more than 390 units delivered since its entry into service. Despite a great hot and high performance and maximum speed of 406 knots, it is also the greenest dual-engine jet in production. The aerodynamic body shape represents a sleek, sporty appearance, and the height of the plane, equivalent to a light jet size and featuring the greatest distance between body and ground, gives it great ramp presence. The plane is equipped with full, highly efficient LED lights for better visual identification at lower maintenance costs due to longer LED lifespan. Your journey aboard the Phenom 100 EV begins with the first step, an air stair, complete with handrail and lights, leading up to the largest entrance of its class, inviting you to step aboard a jet that dominates in comfort and prestige. The oval-like design of the aircraft cross-section lets you sit comfortably with an ergonomic posture, while the added headroom and best-in-class cabin width lends to a spacious environment in which your legs can rest in a natural position. Optional premium seats offer swivel and recline abilities, complemented by ergonomic tables and individual power outlets with USB ports. Close to each seat, the Phenom 100 EV treats its passengers to the largest windows in the segment for a more open, luminous feeling during flight. For those who don't want to leave anyone or anything at home, the optional fifth seat or wardrobe configurations allow you to customize your cabin to suit your lifestyle. The back of the cabin features a lavatory, which can be equipped with a seatbelt for an additional passenger. For privacy, it is partitioned from the rest of the cabin with a bulkhead and full-length curtain. As an added consideration, the lavatory features dedicated windows to lend light to the space, the only aircraft to offer that in this class. The plush atmosphere is complemented by a dual-zone temperature control, separating the cockpit and cabin for both flight crew and passenger comfort. The extra-large 53 cubic feet storage compartment at the back is easily accessible, with a large opening positioned far from the engines for convenient storage. It can accommodate 4 golf bags, 4 carry-on bags, 4 garment bags, and 4 laptop bags. Combined with its easy ergonomic access, this is the best storage area in all entry-level jets. As for the flight crew, there is a dedicated compartment at the nose. Prodigy Touch, based on Garmin G3000, is the avionics suite and key enabler of the Phenom 100 EV's single pilot operation. Featuring touchscreen controls and baseline synthetic vision system, it has airline-grade synoptic display of the main systems, enhancing the crew's situational awareness. Furthermore, advanced systems like emergency descent mode, surface watch, coupled go-around, and reactive wind shear are options that make flying this jet a breeze. With 4 occupants, this aircraft can fly 1,178 nautical miles, which is equal to New York to Orlando. The baseline aircraft can carry up to 1,775 pounds of payload, which is equal to 8 adults at 200 pounds each. This is the only aircraft in its category offering such capability. The straight wings on the Phenom 100 EV can provide a lower approach speed for easy control and better landing performance compared to swept-back wings. Above the straight wings, a multifunctional spoiler acts as a speed brake in flight and as a ground spoiler on ground. The Phenom 100 EV is powered by a pair of reliable Pratt & Whitney engines, which produce 1,730 pounds of thrust each, helping the plane reach the high speed of 406 knots with ease and deliver superb performance out of hot and high airports such as Aspen. Yet with all this power, this remains the greenest jet in production worldwide. The Phenom 100 EV is the essence of modern private flight, evidenced by the wide range of latest technology features Embraer has packed into this entry-level jet. With its sleek, sporty look and dominating performance, it is an aircraft sure to bring
breakdown on the cost on a current average national standard Phenom 300 that's about a couple years old, purchased for around $8.1 million. The profit on it, like I said earlier, was after it's being chartered out and all the costs. I said 3,000. The actual numbers came back at 29.75. So if you have 450 hours on it, you're clearing $1.35 million. Now, if you have good financing on it, like we get, you'd be making a great profit. So this is just information on going over the national averages for what the fixed cost would be on your Phenom 300. And you'd buy this one at $8.1 million, so it's about a year old. Could get that. Average range 1,811 nautical miles, 7 passengers, because this charter requires that they have 2 pilots and also some assistant or whatever. So normally, if you had 1 pilot and no assistant, you could put more people in there. But the cost per hour on this is running $1,859 an hour. Fixed cost $489,000 a year for the Pratt & Whitney Canada engine and the Garmin Prodigy glass in the cockpit. Meets stage 3 noise level conditions. Also, we're going over annual cost, market depreciation, $1.6 million. 35% variable, 31% fixed cost, market depreciation $550,000, which is not that much. And we're going to keep going through here. Variable cost per hour, $1,859. Maintenance, fuel, landing, parking, supplies and catering. Annual fixed cost, captain, co-pilot, flight attendant, which they counted up there, but they didn't count this. Benefits, the hangar costs, your insurance, your whole single liability insurance, training, navigation, monthly added up to your maintenance on upkeep and updating. Performance, your cruise range 430 knots, long range cruise at 383 knots, maximum cruise at 453, which is 510 miles per hour. Rate of climb is 4,000 feet per minute, which some of them, the newer ones, really like up to 5,000 feet per minute. Maximum ceiling is 45,000. The newer ones are 51,000. It's really going off like a 100. Field of length for takeoff, pretty small compared to Citation. Also, your ground speeds, noise level, your weight breakdown, maximum payload with fuel and 7 people, maximum distance depending on cruising speed or your long range speed. Again, one of the widest cabins at 5 feet. Cargo space, complete breakdown. So if this was your jet, you'd be making $3,000 an hour on it, making $1.5 million a year. Garmin technology for the cockpit. Methodology. This is just standard breakdown, so you know what you would get when you sign up with the charter. You'd sign the paperwork, get it in, then they take care of all the maintenance. It'd be up in the air for a couple months, then down for 2 weeks maintenance, and then continue. So there you go. That's the overview of everything. They're going to check out your plane before you put it up there and get you the paperwork, get it going, and you start making money on it. Of course, you can improve the money by setting it up with different contracts and stuff. But this would be, if you don't use it much and you don't have much coming on your taxes, you would break even. If you have a lot of taxes write off and this, you're going to be making a profit. So there you go.
Power, realize your power, finding out myself. Power, realize your power, finding out myself. Go where you wanna go. Do what you're gonna do. Do what you wanna do. Go where you wanna go. Get on with it. Come on, get on with it. Come on, get on with it. Come on, get on with it. It's what I say. What I say. Listen what I say. Listen what I say. Listen what I say. What I say. Get on with it. Come on, get on with it. I go left, you go right. Live it up. Dance all night. I go left, you go right. Live it up. Dance all night. I go left, you go right. Dance all night. I go left, you go right. Baby, you're on my mind. Baby, you look so fine. Baby, you don't be mine. Baby, you look so fine. Baby, Get on time. Get on time, yeah.
Power. Realize your power. Finding out myself. Finding out myself.
Dance all night. I go let go right. Dance all night. I go let go right. Live it up. Dance all night. I go let go right. Live it up. Dance all night. I go let go right. Live it up. Dance all night. I go let go right. Live it up. Dance all night. I go let go right. Live it up. Dance all night. I go let go right. Live it up. Dance all night.